make no mistake, these are wild leopard, born in the wild, born to wild ancestry. They have never known captivity. But they are born to the presence of vehicles, and by being exposed to that from, well, I suppose from a few weeks old, when we see them for the very first time, they take their cues from their mother and how to behave towards or with the vehicles in their presence, and over time they get to learn that even though I'm sitting here and I'm chatting away, he can hear my voice. I'm trying to keep it fairly low and monotonous. It's of no threat to him, it's of no consequence to him. Perhaps it might be a little irritating, who knows, that these vehicles follow them from time to time, but generally it's for brief moments in their day, and or rather in their week. Not that they have weeks. Eliza from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Eliza, are the back of the ears soft as lions? I have no idea. Never touched the back of a leopard's ear. But lion's ears are not soft. Lions are actually quite rough. I've only handled lion, darted lion, sleeping lion. I'd imagine it's a little soft. Very hard to they look soft. I mean, we look at that belly hair on this little boy when occasionally when he's lying on his side, or you can see a little bit of it. The bottom right of him there. It looks like you just want to touch, just want to rub him on his belly. Or, of course, you've got to get past the claws first, and the jaws behind him. One thing that I should mention though is a lot of these wild cats, big cats, you shouldn't really handle them without gloves, without latex gloves. One thing I learned a long time ago with darting lion is that there are bacteria that live on the hair and live on their bodies, largely because of their lifestyle, and especially lion who climb into carcasses and eat really big things. Bacteria that can be quite harmful, if not fatal to humans. But it's only in darting and collaring exercises that I've ever touched a wild lion. I haven't ever been in petting zoos. I don't like them. Maybe for bunnies and guinea pigs and goats and things, domestic animals. But for wild animals, some of these wild animal parks where people get their photographs taken with cubs, lion cubs, tiger cubs, and the like. I feel that poor animals are so exploited, and they're put through such misery just for the pleasure of photograph. He also heard something. Now, I do need to actually just mention this on the radio. I hope I'm not going to lose signal. If I do, but I have to just call this in on the radio to let the other guys know if they can copy me, if they can hear me. Let's do a test, see if this is going to work. Stations on Voyatella. Looking at you, Jason. So, signal held while I was on the radio. Okay, copied. Sounds like a wild dog further east of Cheetah Cut Line. East is Moranini, so that's quite far east. Carol in Chicago. Can the age of a cat be determined by the change of color from pink to dark? I'm assuming we're talking about the nose now. Ordinarily, yes. Ordinarily, the big cats, lion and leopard, start off with pink noses, and as they age, their noses become black. Lion, it's quite a distinctive sequence of aging. At first a few spots, and then blotches, and then 80%, and then totally black over about a 5-year period. I was looking at his nose. Ordinarily, being only a 2-year-old leopard, I would imagine that his nose would be a lot pinker than that. Oh wow, look at this, right next to this tree full of sour plums. That's why I haven't been seeing sour plums, because the ones next to the road, the plums have all been eaten. We're going to look at that shortly. Got a leopard on camera, we don't need to take it off camera just to look at some sour plums growing on a tree. If I could, I would reach for one right now. Trying to grab me one. The radar again. Will you tell her? Oops. Western Gary, the copy. Excuse me, my radio's a bit squirrel. I think there's something wrong with this microphone. For Pammy for her birthday, a friend of mine from 25 years ago. Pammy's cat for today. It's her birthday. Fill out over the years. Still got a very youthful face, sort of very narrow cheekbones, but that will fill up as he grows older, and the masseter muscles, his cheek muscles expand from years of killing and crunching bones. He'll develop a little bit of a dewlap underneath the neck. Not even 30-40 kilograms, if that. His father's probably already at the weight of about maybe 70. $60-70. One might hear that leopard are nocturnal, but they are not entirely. They are very much active during the day. I've seen leopard hunting in the heat of the day, and very often you'll find that they're active in the heat of the day because it's the most likely time when lion and hyena are not going to be active, and so that they can move around without, well, I wouldn't say without fear of bumping into lion or hyena, but lethargy tends to make animals a little bit less reluctant to have to chase or kill. Where's your brother, boy? I saw it must have been his tracks that we saw up Treehouse Way. Mauricio wants to know what would Mvula do if he came across Quarantine or Kunuma, his two sons. I think the only one that can answer that question, Mauricio, is Mvula himself. My leopard is a little rusty. I'm not fluent in leopard. But to be serious, it's not more than anything else. If they're getting a bit older, especially when they do get a little bit older, and they start getting interested in the estrus scent of female leopards that might be bordering on their mother's territory. So it is vital that they're going to need to move on. They're going to need to move to other areas. I'm starting to get warm. So not really any fixed answer that I could give you of what Mvula would do. And if we were to see him, if it were to happen that he happened to come along right now and there happened to be an interaction, we can't then say that that is how a leopard reacts to his